Elbow press is going to be a cycling workout, cardiovascular workout, 30 minutes on a stationary bike. It's going to be a great day, a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. If you're on here and you have not already been fitted for a bike, what we want to do is make sure that that seat is about hip height. Or if we bring our knee 90 degrees to the ground, we want to make sure our leg and our seat are matching height. If you're already on your bike and pedaling, if you feel like you're reaching on that downstroke, you feel like your hip and your knee are really reaching, go ahead and lower that seat for me. If you are pedaling and you feel bunched up on that downstroke, so if you're pedaling and your knee and your hip are not reaching full extension, go ahead and raise that seat for me. But if you are pedaling comfortably and you are ready to start class, you might get up on that bike and start pedaling. Everybody's got about a minute left to get on or cycle express. Are nearing 4 p.m. Everybody go ahead and get in that mindset to cycle today. Make sure you have water with you. Water is recommended. A towel is optional, so you can wipe off if you get a little too sweaty. But water is the only thing that I would strongly recommend. So if you have some, make sure you have that with you. And if you need to go get some, make sure you do so right now. But it is 4 p.m., so we're going to go ahead and get started with our warm-up. We're going to locate that resistance knob right at the center of our bike. This is going to be our resistance knob. So turning it to the left is going to take resistance off. Turning it to the right is going to add resistance. And this is also our emergency stop. So if for some reason our flywheel gets a little bit too out of control, or we need to go get some water or go to the bathroom, make sure you press down on that red knob, bringing your flywheel to a full stop before you hop off your bike. Good. Your bike might also have a center console. You can turn that on. If it does not automatically turn on, there should be a button on that top. What our consoles usually tell us is our power and our RPM. So our RPM is how fast we're pedaling, and our power or our wattage is how much force we're exerting on those pedals as we cycle. Good. Those are number gauges to show us how hard we're working in class. They're not necessary, but they are nice to have. Good. Everybody go ahead and sit up nice and tall for me. We're going to do a couple shoulder rolls back. Good. Hinging forward at that hip. We're going to have a light grip on those handlebars. Our elbows are going to be slightly bent, and we're going to focus on having that engaged core with that open chest and flat back posture. Good. We want to pedal to the center of our foot the majority of the time we're cycling. Bringing our attention back to that resistance knob, we're going to want to put enough resistance to where we feel like our flywheel is just making contact with the road. So what this feels like is on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being very popular, playing around there, absolutely no resistance on your flywheel, 10 being way too much resistance, you can barely pedal through. We do want to find that nice moderate 5. Good. We should feel like, again, we're just riding a bike down a road. Good. And we are going to come back to that number scale at multiple points in this class to judge how hard we should be working through certain drills. But for now, we are at a nice, moderate 5 for about a minute left. We are going to start class out today with sprint. So we're going to be intervals of 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So just be mentally prepared for that first drill. We're coming right out of the gate running. Good. When we sprint, it's important that we add resistance on our flywheels to keep our hips maintained in the saddle. So go ahead and start working that resistance up, turning that knob to the right a little bit as we get ready for stage 1. Good. We got about 20 seconds left in our warm-up. Good. All right, moving into our sprint song. Again, intervals, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. As we start our sprint, we're going to want to get our RPMs anywhere between 85 and 105. If you do not have that RPM monitor, I need you to sprint for as fast as your hips stay stable in the saddle. And we are starting our first sprint in 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds on right here. Getting those RPMs up anywhere between 85 and 105. Good. If you are exceeding 105, go ahead and add some resistance for me. And if you can't get above 85, go ahead and decrease that resistance for me. Good. If we cannot see our RPM range, make sure our hips are stable in the saddle. We've got 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and 30 seconds off. Good. In our 30 seconds off, we can decrease that resistance if we need to. Take that 30 seconds to really catch our breath and take a little bit of a break. Maybe get some water. Completely up to you. Good. Getting ready for that second sprint we have in about 5 seconds. Good. 4, 3, 2, increase that resistance, and we are on for another 30 seconds. Good, pushing through that center of our foot. RPM anywhere between 85 and 105. Good, we can pretend we are in a bike race, and we are just behind that person in first place, and we're gonna do anything we can to pass them and to win. We have 5 seconds to do it. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 30 seconds off. Good. 2 sprints down, 1 sprint left. Kicking class off with a great speed drill. We've got about 15 seconds to our last sprint. Good, getting our minds in here. Increasing that resistance. If we have decreased it, we are on in 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds right here, our last sprint. If we're imagining we are in that bike race, you can pretend that we just took first place, and we are gonna do what we need to keep it. Do not let up. That person in second place is out for vengeance. 10 seconds left. Good. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take that resistance back. Our sprint drill is complete. Our sprint drill of this stage. We do have some speed in the next stage, but again, 1 stage at a time. We've got about 45 seconds is ours. We can take this time to get some water, get our breath, and get ready for our next drill. Our next drill is going to be a standing climb. So what that's going to look like is when I do it, we're going to come up out of the saddle into a standing position, and we're going to simulate what it feels like to climb a mountain. So we are standing in 3, 2, 1. Make sure you get that resistance knob a turn to the right. We're going to find our hands on these outside handlebars. Good, trying to keep our butt over the tip of the seat.
Ready, set, go, about to push it to the limit. The sky is within reach for the king.
Again, a standing climb. We're going to simulate what it feels like to climb a mountain. So if you want to use your imagination, you can pretend that we're climbing Kennesaw Mountain. We're climbing Snow Mountain, or maybe we're climbing Mount Everest. Whatever your mind wants, dial in right here. But we're going to periodically increase our resistance, and our first resistance turn is here. Turning that knob a quarter turn to the right. Good. Through this drill, we're pedaling with strength.
Nothing will ever hold me down. This will be my test. I wanna fly higher than the rest. The moment's come to get it done.
Good, we've got a second resistance turn right here. As the pedals get heavier underneath our feet, it might be helpful if we cue pulling our heel to our glutes. So we're pulling that back of the foot to your butt. And we are engaging that back half of your leg. Good. Our third resistance turn right here. I know it is getting heavier underneath our feet, but we pedal with strength. Good. Push down and pull up. Good.
Prepare to see best in me. Soaring up to touch the sun. My time has just begun.
We are almost there.
Reach the top. So
after this song, we have a full recovery.
I've been waiting all year long to soar up high today.
Our last increase right here. Good, we are heavy. We're getting through these strides with strength. We've got 30 seconds left. A full recovery song after this. Good. Keep pushing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are down.
To the top, never stop, no.
Taking about 2 minutes and 15 seconds to recover. We are catching our breath, letting our heart rate fall down a little bit, and let all that blood that was just in our leg muscles come right on back to our heart and our head.
Never stop, no.
Also take this time to get some water.
We are the champions, all the way to the top, never stop, no. We are the champions. We are the champions. We are the champions.
Hello. Okay, good. You can still hear me.
Hope that everybody ready
All right,
for my lyrical machete. Bringing so much better than anybody ever did it. Do you get it? I'm the champion. It's like a one-on-one against me. Ain't nobody ever did it like this. You can take aim, but you bound to miss. No matter how hard you try, you never win. When you see the top score, all right, now scream it out. I'm the champion. Yeah, come on, now scream it out. I'm the champion. Then I'm going. Then I'm going. All
So
the
if you're
way
somebody who
to the
attends them
top,
regularly
never
and
stop,
have ever been
no.
interested or even thought about teaching
We are the
fitness class,
champions,
I would
all the
highly
way
recommend
to
that
the
you
top,
apply
never
for this
stop,
program. Our applications are due
no.
November 15th.
We are the
And if you go to the
champions.
OwlFit website, you can find more information
We are
on
the
that there.
champions.
But like I said, I very, very highly recommend
We are the
it. It's a great
champions.
time. We have about 45 seconds left in our recovery.
We are the champions. All the way to the top.
And we are kicking off stage
All the
2
way
with
to
a
the
pretty
top.
demanding interval drill. It's going to be called
All the way
30-20-10.
to the
For 30
top.
seconds, we're
Never
going to be
stop.
cycling back on that
No.
scale of 0 to 10.
We
So
are
for the
the
first 30 seconds of
champions.
our drill, we're
All
going
the
to be
way
in a
to the
6
top.
work zone.
Never stop.
So a little more intense than we
No.
are in our
We
recovery
are the
right now.
champions.
When I cue us for that 20-second
We are
bump,
the
we're going to increase our
champions.
resistance and speed up those RPMs a little
We
bit
are
for
the
20
champions.
seconds. And then when I cue us for that last 10 seconds, we're going to again increase our resistance and try and increase those RPMs and go into a weighted sprint. And we have this drill for 3 rounds, 3 minutes of hard work, and then you get about 45 seconds off. So we are going to go ahead and get it started with our first 30 seconds. So increasing that resistance to where you feel like you're pedaling through some sand right now. Just nice old beach sand. A little bit higher than we were on just that pavement road. Cycling at that 6 out of 10. Good. This is going to be what this 30 seconds should feel like every time we do this drill. And we are increasing that resistance in 3, 2, 1. So giving that knob a turn to the right and increasing those RPMs a little bit. Good. We're going to be in this for 20 seconds. We should feel like we're pedaling through mud or quicksand right now. Good. And we're increasing that resistance and going into our sprint in 3, 2, Go ahead and increase our resistance and get our RPMs up. Good, this is a heavy weighted sprint. You're already halfway there. 3, 2, 1, and done. And that is how that drill is run. Hope everybody got that. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Good, cycling in this 30 seconds. Taking advantage, getting some water if we need. Good, increasing that resistance in 3, 2, 1. We are now in a 7 work zone. That resistance is a little bit higher and we are pedaling a little bit faster. Good, getting ready for that weighted sprint in 3, 2, 1. Increase that resistance, get those RPMs up. 85 to 105. Push, push. 3, 2, 1, and back to that 30 seconds of 6 work zone. This is our last round of that drill. Good, halfway through. Getting ready to go into that 20 seconds at a higher pace and higher resistance. Increasing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give that nabe turn to the right and speed it up a little bit. 20 seconds. Good. Increasing that resistance for that final weighted sprint in 3, 2, 1. You know the drill. We are honing in. This is our last 10-second weighted sprint. We are done in 3, 2, 1. Good, and relax. Take that resistance back. About 30 seconds is ours. We don't want to get too relaxed though, so we do want to find ourselves back at that 6, pedaling through beach sand. So we are still a little bit engaged as we close this drill out. Moving into our next drill in stage 2, we're going to find ourselves in a seated climb. So very similar to what we did in stage 1 when we were standing, except this time we are going to remain seated, but we are going to periodically increase that resistance to make it feel like we are climbing up a mountain. So if you used your imagination last time and you climbed up Kennesaw Mountain, you can now climb up Stone Mountain or Mount Everest. But if you are super ambitious in that first song and you climbed up Mount Everest, let's do it again. You know the drill. We are finding that nice, happy 7 work zone. You should already be at it. And we're going to periodically increase that resistance. This seated climb is a little bit longer than our standing climb. So we're going to bring back our imagination and we're going to picture something we really, really want at the top of that mountain. Maybe it's an A on the test, maybe it's the end of the week, maybe it's Christmas time, or maybe it is just a good old chicken nugget. Whatever it is that you want really, really badly at the top of that mountain, we're going to close our eyes really quick. We're going to envision it. And we're now setting a goal. No matter what through this drill, we are going to cycle to it. We're going to keep our legs moving through the resistance. And our first resistance turn is right there. Good. I once had a patron come up to me and tell me that every time I asked them to picture something, they always pictured a big bag of money. So maybe that's something you can picture as well. Because this song is longer, there are going to be more resistance cues. And we're going to increase our resistance a second time right there. We are doing quarter turns. If you're in a bike that does gears, we're going to knock it up 2 gears. Good, we are a little under halfway through this drill. So we are halfway up that mountain. We should be starting to get pretty challenged right now in resistance. And we've got another resistance turn right there. We're doing that quarter turn. We're moving our bike up 1 to 2 gears. Good. As we get closer to the top of that mountain, the heavier it's gonna get. So like our standing climb, we can focus on pulling that heel up to that glute to make cycling a push down and pull up, a push-pull cycle. Rather than just pushing, we are now taking some of that stress off of our front half and putting it on that back half so we can continue to pedal through and pedal strong. Our next resistance cue is right there. Good. I know it is getting heavier under our feet. We should see that power number or that wattage number increasing, and we should see those RPM numbers falling. Good. We've got just over a minute left in this song. We have 3 more resistance cues, one right here. Remembering to picture what we want at the top of that mountain. It's gonna keep our legs moving and get us to the end of this drill. With less than a minute left, now is the time that we really hone in. If we need to close our eyes, picture whatever it is that we are cycling to, you can feel free to do so. Our next resistance turn is right there. Good, we have one more after this. Good, we are pedaling with strength in our legs right now. Our last resistance turn right here. We've got about 20 seconds left. Pushing through, we are just seeing the top of that mountain now. We are seeing what it is that we are cycling to, and we are 10 seconds away from it.
8, 7,
Good. Push.
5,
Push.
4, 3,
And bring that resistance back. Good. Our last drill of class today is going to be Tabata. So for those of you who don't know, Tabata is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. What that's going to look like is we're going to do a 20-second sprint. We're going to have 10 seconds off, and then we're going to come up into a standing heavy for a 20-second standing heavy. And we're going to be doing 6 rounds of Tabata, and then we are done. So getting ready. I'll give you about 10 more seconds, but increasing that resistance to have enough on your flywheel for that first 20-second sprint. We are going to start in 3, 2, 1. 20-second sprint right here. We started class with sprints. We are going to finish class with sprints. We already know our RPM should be 85 to 105. Good, pedaling with speed and control. 3, 2, 1, and 10 seconds off. I challenge you to pedal through this resistance on these 10 seconds off, but we are giving that knob a turn to the right and coming up out of the saddle in 3, 2, 1. 20 seconds standing. Keeping those hands on the outside of our handlebars. Good. In that standing heavy. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 seconds off. Good. Pedal through that resistance on this last 10 seconds. Going into our 20-second sprint in 3, 2, 1. Good. Pedal through this resistance. Try and get those RPMs up. 85 to 105. Good. Halfway there.
Get up and move your body.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got 10 seconds off. Good. Coming up out of the saddle in 3, 2, 1. 20 seconds standing.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Good, maybe we have a little bit of a lean to get through these strides. Remember, they are heavy and they are strong. 3, 2, 1, and we are back seated. Our last sprint in our last standing, starting in 3, 2, 1. Our last sprint right here, 20 seconds. We can pretend we are back in that bike race, and we are very, very close to crossing that finish line. In fact, we are 10 seconds away. We are finishing strong. 5, 4, 3, don't let up. 2, 1, and off. Good, 10 seconds off. 20 more seconds of work, and then we are in our cool down. Coming up out of the saddle in 3, 2, 1.
Get up and move.
Good.
Get up. Get up and move. Get up. Get up
10
and
seconds
move
left. Digging deep, we are almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take a seat. Pedaling through that same resistance for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are done with Tabata. Good, we are now in our cool down. So taking all that resistance off our flywheel. Taking this time to catch our breath, get some water. Give yourselves a high five because you can't give each other one right now. Maybe a pat on the back. So that I'm giving you air high fives all around. You did great. But also just take some time to let all that blood that was just in our leg muscles come right on back to our hearts and our heads.
Get up. Get up. Get up.
We are taking our arm, bringing it across our body, acting as if there's a magnetic repel between our shoulder and our ear. Keeping our shoulder down, we are stretching our shoulder area.
Get up. Get up and move your body. Get up. Get up and move. Get up. Get up and move your body.
Good, and relax. Bringing that other arm across our chest, doing that same thing. That magnetic repel is still there. Keeping our shoulder down, keeping our shoulder depressed.
Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up and move. Get up.
And release. Good, we're taking our fingers, placing them behind our back and opening our chest up. As we cycle, our chest muscles tend to be in a short, closed position, so we are focusing on opening them up right here.
Get up. Get up and move. Get up. Get up and move your body. Get up. Get up and move. Get up. Get up and move your body. Get up and move. Get up and move your body. Get up and move.
Good, and release. We're going to press down on that center red knob, bringing our flywheel to a complete stop. Before we hop off the bike, we're going to find that nice incline on the back of our bike. Drop our toe up on that and hinge forward at the hips for a stretch in our calf muscle. Good, and release. Same thing on that other leg, propping that toe up, hinging forward at the hips, finding the stretch in that lower back half. Release, going into our hamstring stretch. We're going to prop our heel up in that midpoint. Hinging forward, we're going to touch the tip of our toe. Good, making sure we want to keep our hips square with the bike. Feeling the stretch in that upper back half of our leg. bring that foot up, touching our toes, making sure our hips are in line with that bike. Feeling this stretch in that hamstring area. Going into our last stretch, we're going to grab our ankle, point our knee directly at the ground, and work on keeping those hips right on underneath us. We can hang on to that bike for stability if we need.